and no man do. I will live him. My God can do and no man do. I will live him. My God can do and no man can do. You can do what no man can do. What to say? It's just a fact. No other God, besides you, Jesus. Your word is so strong, it moves the mountain. Faithful God, you are faithful God. You are worthy of my praise. You will do. You will do. What am I can do? I will live him higher. My God can do and no man do. I will live him higher. My God can do and no man can do. Nothing else can take your place. No one else can take your place. What you say you will do, that is all you will do. No one can change your place. No one can change your power. From age to age, you're still the same. From day to day, you are still the same. From Monday to Sunday, you remain the same. You will do what no man can do. My God can heal any sickness, oh. My God can heal anybody, yeah. My God can do any miracle. Yeah. My God can do what no man can do. Ooh, I will.
Well, good evening and welcome. I'm Alfonso Zienso right here to the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. The sound fading away is by Liberian gospel artist based in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, K Praise. Our God can do anything, and including giving politicians the authority to lead. All right. I'm going to be having a conversation here with a group of gentlemen who will be coming out publicly declaring their support to one of the presidential hopeful, long-time human rights advocates and Councillor TIAWAN SAYE GONGLOE. The gentlemen, they are here backstage. I'm going to be bringing them very shortly.
I love Gucci beats.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. This time is already taken away. Let's get a ball rolling to right here. Good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Do us a favor, just hit the share button and we will get this program on the way. Again, I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We're always here to bring you news, information, and entertainment, take on a wide range of community conversation, including what is unfolding in Liberia. We are already in the season, and it's time to talk news, making headlines, and take on some of the things that are confronting the country. So, the 2023 presidential race has left Liberia completely. It's in the diaspora, that's USA, Australia, and part of the planet Earth. Why are the politicians coming here to seek support or gather their base? Well, some under the banners of the name Friends, Global, whether it's a superpower or what it is, we don't know. But the good thing is we all can be held accountable, to include they who coming forward to tell us exactly who they are supporting and why they are supporting, on what basis they are coming to this conclusion, and how this idea came into place. I have no idea, and this is why we decided to invite a group of gentlemen, a lot of them with professional backgrounds. They will be having a conversation with us here. They call themselves Friends of TIAWAN GONGLOE. Maybe I'm going wrong here. I will give them the opportunity to introduce themselves as we about to get down to the wire. It's 8:01 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt, Lpr and TV in Liberia, sharing news content in the same business. So we're going to be having this yet. Just bear with me. We got to get this off yet. Sometimes people just bear with me here a little bit. Let me just put some blockade on this stuff here. Okay, so they are here. Let's get a ball rolling. So I'm going to be breaking them in, and they will introduce themselves. And hopefully it's LPR senior analyst, Amos George, is based in Atlanta, Georgia. He's going to be joining us. We are in partnership, not partnership, but we are in news content sharing with SAYE TV in Liberia, 50-50. So whatever you would do here now, it will be heard in Liberia. Okay, let's get a ball rolling. Let me bring in Dr. Sam Bine. Hopefully I'm calling the name. He's one of the guy on this team. Just if you can turn your camera on, that. Okay, good. All right, so let's bring him. On the other side, let me just give it Mr. Fella Woods. Fella, I hope your microphone is okay. Fella, are you hearing us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, much better. So I have to take this one here. I see two different stuff here. I don't know what is what, but let me just
take the Samsung. Since the other one or the magazine.
Hi, Mr. Zioga, are you there to see your camera off yet? If you can we can capture your image, then I'll bring you. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Now we know the faces behind Cllr TIAWAN GONGLOE. That is it possible your device to flip it around so that it will be in the horizontal form? Is it possible? Maybe I can pull you backstage. Okay, there you go. Okay. You guys ready to go to the State House? Okay, hopefully we're going to have a good and perfect background. That way we can have a conversation. Gentlemen, good evening. It's good to have you here. We are happy that it didn't work out for the last time, but I was smashing you guys because you want. We got to do what we can do right now. You guys get up there. No, only people, certain people are going to get your phone number. All the other number will be on hold. It will be always machine going to be there. Okay, good to be here, Mr. Wood, fella. You're not a strange guy to me. We've been knowing one another, but that does not negate the fact. Now you are in a different zone. You are in a different war. So there's going to be a fine demarcation between two of us here. All right, you're a politician. I am not. Okay, good evening. Philip, welcome on LPR. My guess is your first time appearing live on LPR, correct?
Yeah, sure. My first time on LPR radio and TV.
Yeah, something can bring people somewhere.
I know. This one is serious, so we have to be here. We have to come from the sense.
Okay. Where are you joining us from right now?
Oh, from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Ooh. Just 5-6 hours away from me. That's cool. Let me go to Mr. Zioka. Mr. Zioka, are you there? If you can unmute your microphone.
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay, good evening. And where are you joining us from this morning? Evening, let me say. I'm sorry.
To be precise, I'm from Pennsylvania and in Delaware County.
Delaware County. Okay, thank you so much. Your first time appearing live on LPR, correct?
Sure.
Okay, good. All right, nothing wrong. The river is not to the sway, but he always endures to the end. Coming first, coming last is not a thing, but what it produces, that's the most important thing. Okay, let me bring in Dai. All right, he's back with us. Let me just bring him. Okay, Dr. Sam. Is that the right way I'm calling the last name, Dai?
It's fine.
Bang. Okay. All right, maybe I'll just write SK and make it much little bit life easier for me. SK, we'll do it that way. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Thank you for picking up this time to share your thoughts and your political thoughts, how you got to this point. We have a lot of people, contestants, multitudes of people, endless expiring. Why the counselor was picked, I do have interest, and I'm quite sure some of our viewers and listeners too. So thank you so much. Let's do this here. I know, let me give you 30 seconds each to introduce yourself, to set the stage, and we want to get the ball rolling right away. Anybody can go first.
Okay, since I'm at the top, I will start. All right, my name is Philip Woods. Actually, I'm not a politician, and I'm not here to speak as a politician or for politicians. But I'm here basically in two forms. One, I'm here to represent civil society, and I'm also here to represent the business community, the Liberian business community. The reason here is because those are the two sectors in Liberia that I have, over the years been involved with, and I have represented since 2000 when I entered the advocacy area. My first political support was in 2004, 2005, 2006. That was during the election of our former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But before then, during the Charles Taylor era, I was greatly involved with advocacy for Liberian businesses, most especially in the construction industry, when there were a lot of ill treatment from the public towards the carpenters, the masons, the plumbers, the painters. All those guys have participate in the construction industry. So that's how I got into activism, and then later on, I got wholly and solely into the advocacy of the Liberian businesses, most especially the 26 businesses at the time that was set aside for Liberians only. And by 2009, when I felt the country was on course and going great, I left Liberia and started another venture into public safety advocacy, and that's how I ended up in the United States. But TIAWAN GONGLOE, the name Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE, is a name that if it come into the political circle, a person like me.
Hold on 1 second. We'll come to that because you're trying to twist my mind here, and I was the last mind that you want to twist. This is why you politicians, you guys behave. You all do this sort of salad dressing. I'm not going to eat that salad. Let me tell you right now, Philly. I'm not going to get that salad.
Go right ahead.
I'm a country guy. I let my rice. No salad business. Okay, let me go to Zioka. Let's see the justification he's going to give. Philly started that way. I'm not a day. But he ended with Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE, who is seeking for the higher office of the land. Mr. Zioka, let's hear from you.
My name is Junius D. Zioka II, and I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering and a Master's in Education, Secondary Education. In Liberia, I've worked with the Ministry of Public Works, and then also in the educational sectors. I have my own little establishment of a school back home. So I'm with TIAWAN GONGLOE because the educational system in our country is completely down. You may hear some critics talking about, teachers not qualifying and all that, but I have a different vision to that because they don't have the actual support, okay? And so TIAWAN GONGLOE, I am with him because he is one person who have shown his light towards making sure that when he becomes successful, the educational sectors in our country will be reformed. That's number one. Number two, as a civil engineer, I see that our people being denied of the actual infrastructure that is within the country. There is not a check and balance on what our resources go on, whether it is durable or not. So TIAWAN GONGLOE is sensitive to the fact that He wants to make sure that there is not corruption in these areas. And once you cut down corruptions, of course, you want to have infrastructure that will last for its design period. So this is the reason why I'm linked to him. And once he's become successful, I am very sure, because I know the integrity of the young man, that he's going to deliver his promises.
Okay, let me put a hook on it before I go to Dr. Ban himself. Mr. Zioka, educator, teacher, engineer / politician, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I thought you want to be like Philly. Let me go to the Dai himself. He's smiling now. He's already getting everything in order. Okay, Dai, good evening. What are you doing here?
Preaching to people, basically. My name is Sam GONGLOE. I'm a proud Liberian. I think most people know me a little bit, but I'm not here to talk about myself tonight. I practice here in Minnesota as a doctor of nursing practice. I've been here. I left Liberia a while ago, but for the last 7 years, I've been going back there almost every year. Last year, I think I went twice and did the same thing the last time. And what I'm doing here tonight is letting our people know that we have an aspirant that has the character that we need to straighten our country out. You know, we have tried a lot of other things before that didn't work in our favor because we were always going after what we would call the shadows and not the substance. We went after people's education or their talent, but once they didn't have the character or the integrity to lead, those the education or the talent they had has not brought Liberia any kind of satisfactory leadership, or has not brought the kind of.
Can you check your microphone? The voice is fading away a little. If there's anything you're listening to, I'm getting echo back here. So those of you on the live here, you have to mute your whatever device that is there. It has to be you got to mute it completely. Other than that, we want to have an echo. Okay, go ahead, Dai.
Yeah, so I'm here today to just let our people know that this is the right thing we need to pay attention to is the character of a person. And we have found somebody that has the kind of character we think will take us to the next level in our country. That's why I'm here, basically.
That's why you're here, basically. So what is the name of this group here? I want to be on top of the game.
That his first name is actually pronounced TIAWAN.
No, I mean this support system, this support group here. Is it friends? Is it global? I just want to get it strictly from you guys.
Oh, we can just go by supporters of TIAWAN for now. But I think most of us will be called friends of GONGLOE or members of Team GONGLOE. Those are the two big support groups out there. There are other smaller ones, but we just all seem to have that GONGLOE in common. And we share the vision that we have found somebody that has the character and the prerequisite to be a true leader of the kind of Liberia we hope to live in a few years from now.
Okay, well, folks, listeners, in Radio Land Television is 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, a little after 12 a.m. in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. We're taking the politics out of Liberia, bringing it here. Why are we bringing it here? The conversation is about to get on the way. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Let me do this here. I'm not too familiar. I don't know this guy. I just want to make sure of you guys here. Let's get a sense who we are talking about and what is he doing right here. Let's
to keep this place environmentally clean and beautiful. This place could be a good place to attract visitors. People going there, visiting, having birthday parties, and just enjoying themselves sitting there. Paying money to go there. We went there this morning. I wanted to see Providence Island, and I was told in order to see Providence Island, you have to go to the Ministry of Information to get permission to come here. I've been to the White House. I've been to many public places where people pay money just to go and see sightseeing. How can it be so restricted? A place that should be a tourist attraction. How should be so restricted? Now I can understand why it's restricted. You probably don't want a lot of people to come there because the place is not well kept. We look at another island that the president had promised to be called Bali Island. Bali Island was supposed to be
What a creative politician. So to validate our conversation here this evening, is it the gentleman we are about to talk about, guys?
That's the gentleman. That's the man that have the key to make Liberia a better place for all Liberians.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's get a ball going. I might not be calling people by name, but we can just do it, run down later and then speak one at a time. So you say you're at the top. You told us here you're not a politician, but more or less now you are more than a politician. So let me start with you, Philly. How you got into this thing here? How you got to know Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE and why Councillor GONGLOE?
Okay, my first personal encounter with Councillor GONGLOE was back in 2007. I had an opportunity to have traveled on a government delegation from Liberia to China. And for some reason, during our 2 weeks or 1 week and a half out of Liberia to China, I had the opportunity to be in a close proximity of Councillor GONGLOE. I remember we sitting in the back seat of the bus. We were about 3 persons that were always together. It was my first time meeting him. And for some reason, we're just close in conversation. And that's how I got to know him. And 1 or 2 times I had some friends that had some legal issues. And the only person that my mind could run onto, I could give us proper legal redress was Councillor GONGLOE. Everybody that I talked to said, this case is a critical case. The only person that can help you is Councillor GONGLOE. And he was there for us. We didn't spend a penny. We told him what the problem was, and he was able to take care of that. Okay. Then the second time,
so what we're going to do? Yeah, we're going to keep it very brief because we got a lot to talk about.
Okay, all right, okay. I just want to give you a background. All right, so
yeah, but a second. Let's see if you can kind of condense everything together.
All right, I'll do that. So the next time I had an opportunity to interact with Councillor GONGLOE is while he's in Liberia. We have a situation with Liberian shipping to Liberia. They are continuously being looted, no redress, nobody at the MPA to talk to, and we have this serious problem, and no other person I could talk to see that could help us with this problem other than Councillor GONGLOE. Though we didn't go further into getting redress because most of us in the diaspora as shippers lost confidence in the legal system in Liberia. So most of the guys were saying, hey, let us not waste our time. We won't get anything from out of the system. So let's just let it be, And then when I saw his name popping up, I said, no, I can't sit on the fence. This man is too good of a Liberian to accept the petition of the Liberian people to vie for the presidency. And there's a video he produced in one of the rural areas, and he was speaking about tourism. That's what got me convicted to be on board with the Friends of GONGLOE to make sure that TIAWAN GONGLOE become the Liberian next president.
Okay. Every conversation is being recorded, and only LPR has the authority to delete or keep. So we're going to hold all of you, we're going to hold all of us a conversation here, for future reference. Okay, let me go to Mr. Zioka. Mr. Zioka, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay, you, with your credential, I guess you are fine. You can go on anywhere planet Earth. Politicians, and one becomes a politician, then I begin to have an apprehension because they begin to adopt new way of doing things. What is a compelling situation that draws you or capture your imagination to pivot in the directions of Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE? Why?
First of all, let me make this clarity. By nature, all humans are politicians. Once in your home, your mom cooked a cassava leaf, and you decide to take palm butter, you make a choice. And once she does not treat you like she treats Junior Ball, you also have make a choice, and you also have come against her policy. You are a politician. Now, the reasons why I am with, or I have made this declaration to support Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE is, TIAWAN is, he is one person who believes in the rule of law. And this is exactly what we need in Liberia today, because there is no rule of law. People are dying in the street, people being killed, and there is no follow-up there is no substantial report by police and the agencies that are responsible.
Now, hold on. Are you saying there's no rule of law in Liberia?
There may be, but there are some slackness into that, and then we want to make sure that those those areas are being straightforward. And the next thing is, TIAWAN GONGLOE is one young man who also believes in the progress of professional people. And what do I mean? When I was at the law school, I have not graduated from the law school. I entered 2006. And in one of our conversations, we found out that Councillor GONGLOE was so mad about magistrates in the country not being a law school graduate. And then he vowed that I am going to make sure that law school graduates become magistrates. Either you are a law school graduate or a law school student. And today we see that. So he is one person who believes in the progress of professional people. And he one person who, whenever he says what he says, he's not God, but whatever he says never return to him void. He makes sure that if I'm going to do this, that's what he does. Based on these facts, and we in Liberia have a burning situation, professional people, and want to make progress. I believe that this is the way to sway if professional people want to be the one that will make progress. That's why I'm supporting Councillor TIAWAN as GONGLOE.
Okay, Mr. Woods, can you face our camera? We want to my audience. They are complaining already. So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let me come to you. I don't know if this is ridiculous or whatever silly questions. When you came to this point of being part of or being friends of TIAWAN GONGLOE, is there certain capture your?
Well, I am a founding member of the Friends of GONGLOE, but I have known the councillor for a long time. We happen to come from around the same area of Liberia, but I have known him as a man of character. I'm not here to support him just because we're from the same part of Liberia, but to present him as a man of character, a man of integrity. And this was not the first time he had been petitioned to run before. That's one thing I want to let everybody know. There has been several petitions in the past asking him to run because a lot of people have seen the quality of a person he is and how in Liberia, it would be better to lead by example than to lead with just theories and ideas. But he has always refused. So last year, when I got a call that
let me
he had
that
decided to actually run,
hold on
I
one.
said, well, I wanted to talk to him personally.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's getting more serious. I'm looking in the backstage. The last time I interacted was the OLM. Some now it has taken its different direction. Hold on one second. Okay, the only female in the house here. The last time we talked about 3 or 4 years, or I don't know, 5 years, it was during the OLM. But she's here in a different form, context. Madam Talat Kuwangbai is here. What's going on? It's getting serious. I just wanted to make sure that we get it. Madam, good evening and welcome. Just unmute your microphone for us.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah,
let that ends, then I will be coming to you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So I required to talk to the counselor personally, and I asked him to call. He called me, and I said, why are you now agreeing to run? We've asked you for several years now, and you kept saying no. And then he said, I think Liberia is ready. I think Liberia has tried a lot of other things, and having a politician of character had never been one of the things that we thought was possible. But we are in such a desperate need right now that the Liberian people have finally seen that we needed a person of character, somebody that will do what they say, somebody, and here's how he put it to me. He said, no matter how hard we struggle down here to straighten this country, as long as the president is corrupt, we will never win. So if we really want to fix this country, we got to fix it from the top, because everybody looks forward to the president. Okay. So if this is my last sacrifice to my country, where I can get up there and don't steal and don't do any backhanded thing, let the Liberian people see that it is possible for a leader to lead just from his conscience and his love for the country without any need for self-aggrandizement. Because if we were to see that thing one time,
hold on one second,
we will never allow politicians to use us the way they do currently. Okay. So he's willing to do this as his last sacrifice for his country. And I'm willing to help him do that.
Okay, Dr. Man, let me hold you right there. This is LPR. We don't roller skate here and just fly and stuff. So we're going to hold all of you people accountable, because we don't want tomorrow and people can't tell us or tell the Liberian people knowing what I know if I knew then. No. That becomes an obituary. Tell her, if you will, or you, Madam Cohen, but just to make it easy, let's set the stage. Let me just bring you in, introduce yourself. What are you doing in this whole troubled conversation we are about to have? What are you doing here? Unmute your microphone, please.
Thank you very much for having me on. I first of all would like to apologize. I had some challenges with the link, but I'm so thankful that we are able to have this discussion. Like you rightly said, my name is Tyler Muna Kwiwampa, and I have decided to come on board the Team GONGLOE for President 2023 because I believe our country is at a crossroad where, if we look at today's date and we look at the generation that we have right now and the leadership and the direction the country is heading under the WEAC government, with people who do not have the merit, the qualification, the skills, the lack of proper enabling environment in schools, in hospitals, 10 years from now, we all should be asking, if our generation, because I was in Liberia for 3 years, if our generation can see this happening to the generation after the war who were not even de-traumatized, they're not put into an institution to have some kind of a mentor assessment and lead them into the right way, 10, 20 years from now, Liberia will be so backwards to the extent where we are already like, the former US Ambassador Greenfield said that Liberia is not even at the seat where she should be amongst the nation of nations. So I joined this team because I believe the man I like to call him TIAWAN. TIAWAN have got integrity. TIAWAN has been fighting.
Let me stop you a little bit. You like to call in TIAWAN. What is the uniqueness of calling TIAWAN?
The uniqueness is just the basic of his traditional name. I like that. And it just sounds so, a name that drives you to something much greater than itself. And so I believe that what he has done over the years in Liberia, others may argue to say he was in the Ellen government, he served as Solicitor General, he served as a labor minister, he did not have to ensure that Liberians made $10 an hour at Firestone. These people have raised some legit question. But you should also understand, TIAWAN did not sit in that capacity to make those rules and laws and policy. I joined this team because TIAWAN has the integrity. TIAWAN understands the Constitution. First and foremost, I look at our Constitution, and that Constitution needs to be redrafted all over. Too much power is given to the leader, and TIAWAN is one Kennedy who understands the law. I mean, the guy is an expert. He's a human right, and he has no corruption. I mean, if he does have any corruption in his pathway of governmental positions, people should raise that up. So I feel in an effort to lead Liberia and its youth, I mean, we are all up in our mid-50s and 60s or so. Look at your grandchildren that are born here. I was in Liberia for 3 years. I saw the path. Yes, we need artists, we need musicians, but we fundamentally need to have people in leadership who do not have that corrupt practices, just getting government to get rich and forget about the fundamental thing of leading the country into ingenuity, transformation, and putting in the enabling environment for our nurses, midwives, at the school. And that's why I'm behind TIAWAN. He has that ability to do so based on his track record.
Okay, ladies in the house, gentlemen, we try to keep it proportional to give everybody. I'm not going to want to in the selection. Mr. Dr. Pan speak, Phyllis speak, Zioka. I'm not going to do that. So my guess here, all of you competent or maybe an inside conversation were held with the principal himself to be here to bring yourself in the face here. So we're just going to keep our answers succinct so that we can have basic questions. So let me just throw it all here and you guys can put it. Was there any conversation prior to his decision to make that announcement in Liberia? Let me, which one do you remember what was the last conversations ever held with him after making his decision? Because I did hear someone saying that he was being petitioned, he never accepted it as, but now he has accepted something might have prompted that. Do any of you guys remember having the last conversation before accepting that petition? I'm having like an echo. Somebody, I don't know what's
my volume here is a little bit low. I'm not hearing you clearly. What was the question?
Somebody, I'm not sure where that is coming from. Okay, let me see here. Are we hearing something? Let me see here. Are we okay? Philip, are you listening to something there? Philip, do you have any audio on?
No, I don't have anything on. Everything here off.
Okay, let me bring in Dr. Wan.
Besides my device.
All right. Are you hearing us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So I know sometimes you have to mute your device, because once one is open, the echo it will be coming back. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. So I was asking, when was the last time before his decision of accepting to come forward? Any of you remember last time ever you had a conversation with him? What did he tell you precisely before you putting yourself as a face of friends of TIAWAN? No? Any of you?
Are you asking if
if
he
I'm
asked
coming,
us to go back? Go ahead, Philip.
okay. If I got you right, what I do know is, first I saw a flyer circulating maybe 6-7 months before December, bearing the name Team GONGLOE. But what I vividly remember was in December, I think it was December 4th, that I watched a video that Councillor GONGLOE was petitioned. And at that ceremony, he did accept the petition. But it had been rumor, or it had been it had been not rumor per se, it had been said that he had been petitioned on several, and he just said it was not the right time or he was not ready. But he accepted this petition on the fact that it was the right time because the country was going down and down, 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 down. And he and other Liberians cannot sit and just allow Liberia to run into a room. So, and if he stepped forward at this point in time, people like us who love Liberia, care about Liberia, and not our personal self, we have no other alternative but to give him the maximum support that we are trying to give him from our limited resources.
Okay, great. All right. Maybe I'm going to be doing it to make it easier to, Dr. Brown, let me just come to you. Was there any conversation held with him before making that decision? Do you really, do you feel that he emptied more out to you finally to come out to do what he's doing now? Is that how you feel?
You mean like if there was a conversation that TIAWAN asked me to speak out for him?
No, I'm getting a terrible. Is it possible that you guys can go on and come back because look at the audio is being corrupted already? Is it possible you guys still have the link? That link is good. I'm not sure what the audio is. The feedback. Let's do it that way. I don't want us.
Okay, so
yeah,
put an ad on and then we can.
Yeah, let me just get you guys off. You can use that same audio. Let me see.
I think the discussion. I think the noise is from Philip end because when we hear nothing.
Yeah, Tyler, are you good? Can you speak? Let me hear you.
Yes, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think.
Good also.
Yeah.
We don't get any feedback.
Yeah. I'm okay. Let's see the way they will come back. So let me just come to you, Madam. Do you ask all of the questions needed in making sure his political decision, because it's a life career decision that he's making? You had a chance to have that sort of conversation with him?
Most definitely. I mean, I did ask him, and besides that, I have seen the kind of work he's done. I have seen the advocacy. The man has been living by his words. We had a conversation, I believe, in TIAWAN ability to lead. He led the Liberian Bar Association and did a very awesome job. I was in Liberia for 3 years. I talked to lawyers who told me a whole lot about his leadership as the president for the Liberian Bar Association. Most notably, TIAWAN is mainly representing all the time little people. And he's not a rich man. Sometimes I call people here and try to get them on board. And I hear them say he's a very poor man. Tyler, you're wasting your time. I mean, just listen to that. Listen to that. He's a poor man. So let me ask a question. Are we looking for a rich man who is already rich and has got money? Who is going to use his money to get himself into power? And then when he gets there, he leaves as he sees fits? This is not what I think our country needs. Our country, like he did say, he will audit himself. He will audit his government official. In fact, they will declare that access. And the guy is in the legal fee. And if he is saying this, for those of us who are with him, there will be discussion, memoranda, that if he doesn't do these things, we all know what it is. We have discussed it. So I believe in TIAWAN. and he is a person who speaks, he says, and he lives by his word. He doesn't live beyond his means. He's empathetic towards his team. So I think, the discussion was held, and by speaking and listening and reading about his path, it really made me to believe that this is the person who our country needs. The international community has heard about him. He worked for the human rights organization. So he will be able to be fair and just in ensuring that the law of the land is implemented and adhered to at all times.
All right, let me go to Mr. Ziokat, and I'm going to maybe reconstruct and kind in different form. But if you also want to answer that questions, it's at your own evaluation.
Yes.
How far do you intend to go with this friends of TIAWAN GONGLOE? What is the motive? What exactly you guys going to do? You can also add that puzzle if you wish.
I intend to go to the end and see that TIAWAN GONGLOE becomes successful as the president for the Republic of Liberia. And I just said from the beginning, I've known TIAWAN GONGLOE, and not just yesterday. I have known him for years based on work he has done. I remember that my late uncle, when he was head of some labor union with the port, where TIAWAN GONGLOE represented the worker unions at one time, he proved his intelligence, and he proved his incorruptible act to those people. TIAWAN GONGLOE, like I told you from the beginning, and let me just bring this in. This is a young man who was the Solicitor General for the Republic of Liberia. And I have known many of Solicitor Generals of Liberia who are rich. So the question is, TIAWAN GONGLOE does not want to get rich. He wants to. But he makes sure that what belongs to him to get him rich or to get him where he has to be, that's what he wants, to prove his integrity. Now look, there is a different way that Liberia can be led. And the best way is the way that I am going there. Look, you don't have to be corrupt before you get rich. Okay. Once you have honest money, you can get rich. All right. When Paul was speaking to the people in Rome, Italy, he told them, look, I mean, at a certain time we say that the Bible says that before you get rich, a camel must pass through the eye of the needle. Paul is not saying that, look, you what you call Christians cannot get rich, but be careful.
Okay,
so TIAWAN GONGLOE, yes, I'm coming. TIAWAN GONGLOE wants to get rich, but he wants to get rich properly.
Properly.
Yes.
What is the definition?
All right, that is whatever salary belongs to him in government, as he has been doing from the beginning up to now. That's what he gets, and he makes sure that whatever he has is being made public, so that whatever the citizens want to know about him know that yes, he is not within this kind of corrupt deals or what have you. And like I said from the beginning, Solicitor Generals of the Republic of Liberia, that's a big job.
Okay, that's a big job. I'll be going to Dr. Ban, and I know all of you guys here proxy the affairs of the council. I hope to have him here. Maybe we can go much deeper. But I see you using this one word, Solicitor General, Solicitor General. There is a motive, and there must be a reason why this word is being deployed in this conversation. So then let me just ask you this. As far as you are concerned, he doesn't want to get rich. I want to get rich. That is cool. But as a Solicitor General, you say people are corrupt. Do you believe there were corrupt people in the government at the time when Councillor GONGLOE was then Solicitor General?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There. If I may come in.
Wait. The man who been calling solicitor, let me go to him. Then we can pull it around. Do you guys, okay, Dr. Ban is giving the support to it. Maybe Tyler going to come in as well. Ever so, on his watch as one of the chief prosecutors of the Republic of Liberia. Can you guys tell us who exactly the Cllr prosecuted and maybe perhaps recover government asset, or he want to get rich and so, you know what, somebody step on him, he could not do his job? Was that the case?
No, that wasn't the case. And let me go with this one, right? If you can remember, when he was Solicitor General, he actually prosecuted a former president, Judy Bryant. For the very first time since this country was founded, that was the very first time a former president, whether he was interim or not, that got persecuted. Now, if you follow the news that time, the investigation that got Judy Bryant was actually done by an international organization. The evidence was profound, and it was not just Judy Bryant, but it was also who's the senator now from Snow, Edwin Snow too, right? And the evidence abounded, and yet because our judicial system, it is what it is, those people got acquitted. With all the evidence that was done by an international organization, they still got acquitted because all they had to do is, and then, shake a few hands there, and it didn't matter what kind of evidence that the solicitor presented, the people still got acquitted. That's one of the issues we have right now with impunity. And nobody in Liberia with money or with position feel like they can do anything and get away with it. Because even regardless of how good a prosecutor might be, when it gets to the temporal justice, it's not justice that happens there. As the people that are there right now, some of them have been sanctioned by this country for corruption. And I think the last two speakers, including the Chief Justice of Liberia, admitted in public that the judicial system is corrupt. So that's not like some kind of gossip going around. It's like, yeah, everybody knows that. And I don't care how good a solicitor general can be, if the justice system itself is corrupt, you don't expect much. But he did persecute a former president, which has never happened before and has never happened since.
Okay, so let me go to Cllr here. And you were talking about advocacy, human rights, poor man lawyer, which is also a good. Now, getting in the overall office, that's another thing here. Do you think his empathy to kind of like waive fee, which is also good? Do you think when he comes to state power, does that have any influence in terms of his decision making? Because you have to make decisions that people will agree and disagree with it. But you as a commander in chief, lives and property, the security of the country is in your hands. Do you think TIAWAN GONGLOE, Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE?
Well, I do believe and have the conviction that as the president of Liberia, even though he's been providing pro bono services to our people, I mean, I'm sure he will have the ability to look at services and see based on your income and then have people pay a fee, because technically there's no free lunch. You and I know that we're in America. People pay taxes here and give to the community and so forth. So he's going to look at that and be able to see how best pro bono services are provided to those who really need that. Well, let me also kind of piggyback on the Solicitor General aspect that I want us to kind of, have that on the record. TIAWAN, since 1847, was the very first Solicitor General who transformed the department, prosecutorial department in Liberia. What they used to do after 1847, they used to have people who were not even trained as lawyers to become county attorneys in the 15 counties as of 1847. But when he took over and became Solicitor General, he transformed that department and ensured that those who were appointed as county attorney were county attorney for sure, and they had a training, and then they were then dispatched and served in that role. So this is the reason why, and of course, Dr. Kwan alluded to it, that he did serve and prosecuted president and senators. I mean, that's big time. How many times? Let's look at that. How many times a man who is a prosecutor to prosecute people who are seated in position in government? So I believe as president, TIAWAN is going to be able to look at the laws and say, this needs to be revisited. Let us have a reform about this. And our entire constitution, if you ask me, it needs to be rewritten. So I do believe we should not have the thinking that because he doesn't charge people, he wouldn't charge. No, and that is why he must become the president, or we should do everything because he understands the law and he will evaluate and ensure that those who really require pro bono representation are given that. And then he will look at perhaps income base and see how best our people can be given due justice based on the services we're going to look at.
But there are other people on the other side of the world. They say, okay, yeah, he holds all of these credentials and Solicitor General, labeled almost number 2 to concomitant SAYE. But on his watch as Solicitor General, the Ministry of Justice did not win any case. He prosecuted former president. At the end of the day, the former president was acquitted. So can we still dwell on that record, or is it because he took that step that we should give him that gratification? So what is a guarantee that he said when...
Yes,
Dr. Pa, I think you make a very good point, but here's the issue. He was not the president. The Solicitor General will prosecute, but now the president kind of overrides and have contacts and will release these people. It's on the books that
do you think he agreed with the president's decision?
Of course, and that's why he and the president didn't get along. And she ended up transferring to places where he wouldn't even exercise those kind of power.
You now have authority.
And besides, Alfonso, don't forget, like if you put a good man in a bad system, the system wins all the time. It doesn't mean the person is bad. It just means the system is bigger than the person. He did his part. He brought the person to court. Now, whether he wins the case or not, if you put him in a corrupt justice system, and like I said, he only brought cases to court where he knew he could win based on the evidence. So then if with such an evidence you get free, that was not because he didn't do his job, it's because he's operating in a corrupt system. And that's what he wants to fix. If you ask him, his first two, hold on. If you were to ask him, his very first 2 executive orders all goes towards the Justice Department. He said, I was in that system. I know the system and I know what's wrong. So number 1, he said, executive order number 1, there will be no interference with police operations, because that's one of the reasons that's making most people insecure in Liberia, is because the police not doing what they're supposed to do. Because every police, everybody in Liberia now, they know how they got to put in number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and they can do whatever they want. And as soon as they get pulled over, they just call a politician someplace and they can get scot-free. So nobody is obeying the rules as it should be, as long as they are connected to a politician. So executive order number 1 will be there will be no interference with police operations. That if you break the law, you will meet the consequences of the law. No, hold on. Executive order number 2 will be no interference with the Justice Department. The Constitution separated the Justice Department from the Executive Department for a reason. And every time a case goes to the Supreme Court, you just need somebody in the mansion just needs to call, or even the president calls the justice.
Let me hold you right there.
Okay.
I'm in charge of this wagon here. This wagon that is taking council.
No. I mean, I was just trying to finish my statement so I can forget. I getting old now. That's all.
Okay.
You're a politician, you are very skillful, and politician can't just slide through here. So let me ask this question. Let me throw the bait here, and you can take a bite if it's good. You can you do you guys see him, or your librarians to see him as a new person who is not being in the bad way, that he can turn things around if elected as president? And I want to know, you say a good guy was put in a corrupt system. So the question then becomes, was Cllr aware that he was being put into the bad system? And if so, why he accepted that?
All right, I can answer that.
Let me, Dr. Kwan, let me just come in a bit. You see, I confess that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf at the time was the best thing that ever happened in Liberian politics. When I had the opportunity to sit with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2004, I was on fire. Based on her lecture, based on her thoughts, I was on fire. I said she was the best thing. So,
fire again here today.
Yeah, no, but let me, you asked a question about if Councillor Gongloe knew you were in a bad environment. We never thought Ellen Johnson would have disappointed us like she disappointed Councillor Gongloe. Councillor Gongloe got involved based on the fact that probably he observed the same thing that I observed, that Ellen was the best thing. So that's why he left all he was doing and got involved with Ellen government, thinking that she was ready to change Liberia. So he too was joining her to help change Liberia. Unfortunately, for every one of us, that was not the case. She was there doing selective justice. She was there doing what she wanted to do. And he was very honest. He had come with his whole heart to help transform Liberia, make Liberia better, but only to find out that the lady he was trying to work with, or the Liberian he was trying to work with to make Liberia a better place, was not ready to make Liberia a better place. So he did the right thing by stepping aside, not to think himself like others have tinted themselves today. They want to give us excuses. They could not do this because it was this. They had the same right that Councillor Gongloe had to say, oh, this system is bad. I'm too good to be part of this system. So let me step aside and let those who on board think that it is the right system, is the right time to go ahead and do what they're doing. That's why you see more politicians that came from the Unity Party government have come to us now. They want our mandate. They are not getting the kind of support Councillor Gongloe is getting.
Let me come in. Let me come in. You can come in, Tyler. Because Councillor Gongloe is an expert and he has experience. When he speaks experientially. So one of our pillars is to make sure that the three branches of government are operating independently. And this is what we want in Liberia. And that is a clear-cut situation. This is where we all can merge and have a better Liberia. Independence. You and I live in the United States here. We know how the three branches of government operate independently. So this is one of his strong pillars. And when he speaks, when he is speaking to the Liberian people out there as we go out, he always stressed that we want the three branches of government to operate independently. That is the judicial branch of government. The executive branch has nothing to do with you. If they send you a bulk of money there into that Senate, or say, we don't want this speaker, we don't want that, have nothing to do with that, you see. So I think that the best thing and what is good for our country, as Councillor Gongloe continued to say, is the independence operation of the three branches of government.
Okay, Tyler, you want to weigh in?
Yeah. I just like to add to that, in a nutshell, like he said, the last speaker, TIAWAN only would like to see and implement good governance in a country that has been lacking. I know that, like the gentleman said, they put their hat behind Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And if you look online, I guess I was the only person who wrote and said, Ellen Johnson would disappoint you guys. And it came to, fruition. But that's the past now, right? TIAWAN, all he's seeking for, the man lived in the country, worked in the country. Every day he's on Broad Street. I was in Liberia. I would drive going to Newtown. I would see TIAWAN walking on Broad Street, going to the finance ministry down there. Those Zogo boys are there. He's interacting. He would like to see better Liberia for all, not just the few, and that impunity is not the name of the day, that people can just do anything as they see fit. He wants to hold people accountable. I think that's the essence. And I think if people see him running because they so believe in his pathway of corruption, maybe they want to just, like he once said, people want to see government as getting rich, whereas he wants to see government as a place where you can make a big difference in the magnificent interest of the people. So I strongly believe that his goal is not even to be this big president, but he is just tired after living in the country for so many years and see all the corruption. And he went into government, in my opinion, to see how he could make a difference. It's just like me. I resigned my job from here years ago.
Do you believe the councillor will fight corruption? How he intend to fight corruption?
So one of the things he said, how he's going to fight that corruption is that, first and foremost, if he should appoint anyone, any minister or so, they're going to declare that asset. In fact, it's going to start from him. Additionally, there will be accountability such as auditing himself and his officials every 3 months, quarterly. Look, I really believe what he is saying. TIAWAN is the man, I believe, who will bring about that accountability that we are so long missing. And here's the issue. If we can't find a leader who will become president and lead by example in this era we are in, our young people who coming into power now into government offices, they don't even want to even cherish education. They just want go and buy rice, bag of rice and all for those people in the villages who they can depend on their votes and let them vote for them. The moment they sit in power, it's happening. They just steal and steal and steal. If we don't try and ensure a leader as TIAWAN with integrity and decency is into that presidency come 2023, our country will be set back 30 years backwards. And it will be very sad for our generation, our grandchildren.
Okay. Let's take a quick commercial break.
Can I come in answer one of your old questions you passed?
Sure, go ahead, Dad, before we
All
take a
right.
break.
You had said, like I told you, TIAWAN did transform some of the places he worked at. Like you said, okay, what did he do when he was a Solicitor General? And you heard Ms. Cllr tell you earlier that he transformed the persecution outside of Monrovia. When TIAWAN became Solicitor General, the only county attorney that was a lawyer was the one in Montserrat. The rest of the other counties, they had quite large. They even had prosecutors that some of them were not even high school graduates. When he got there, that system he was part of, he fixed it, such that even today, every county attorney in Liberia is a law school graduate. That's a huge transformation. You may not know that. But people one of the reasons up-country people used to come to Monrovia to sue their people from up-country was because they couldn't trust the prosecutors in their counties. Now, every prosecutor in every county is an actual law school graduate. So you don't see that migration to Monrovia just to judge a case. When he was at the labor ministry, he also made some changes, transformative changes there too. Like he said, you may not know, but when you go to the upscale supermarket in Liberia and you see a Liberian cashier, that's because he made it tougher for those people to bring Indians and Lebanese people to just be cashiers, right? So by raising the work permit to $1,000 a year, it became cheaper for those businesses to hire a Liberian to do those mundane jobs that Liberians can do, but it's still used to bring their foreign people to do them. So he transformed those little places he worked. And like I said earlier, he said, listen, You know, we all can just change a little bit and a little piece of this country. But if we really want to change this country, it has to be from the top. So that's why he is now volunteering to be that person. And I have no doubt in him, because our goal, the vision, is to be that one good example. So he's going to get there, and he's going to be that one good example. In Liberia right now, even politics is the same as lie. Our people do not expect a politician to be an honest person or a person with integrity, because they've never seen it before. And but yeah, so he's going to be that one person, that first person to see, and we are counting on the Liberian people that if they see one good one, they will not make it an anomaly. They will start to demand that from this point on, politicians have to be honest people. Right now, a politician in Liberia makes more money than a doctor, than an engineer, and then, you know, so it's like people now get in politics just to steal. And that's one of the stuff you hear him say. Okay. It's like, thou shalt not steal. It's in the Bible. The very people that go out there and try to convince people that Liberia is a Christian country are the one that steal as a profession, which is in the Bible, like, thou shalt not steal. And we think we're going to set that example.
All right, let's take a break.
I like that. I like that.
Have water. Who is TIAWAN GONGLOE? Is he the generational change that Helen Johnson Sirleaf was talking about? Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
So I'll make sure that I fight corruption in such a way that there will be no incentive for any greedy man to take that place.
Councillor GONGLOE, what you're doing, it looks strange, you know, for the politics. How can you explain this action? Last time you were at the Chamber of Justice, today you are the ground of the legislation. It's symbolic for pursuing corruption.
Well, strange things are happening in this country, in a country where those who say about a higher echelon of government are richer than the entire country. That is strange. So we have to bring strange things for the liberation of this country politically.
Okay, let me come back to my distinguished guest here this evening. The guy he's sweeping. I saw him in one of the town halls. I believe it was in North Dakota. Is that the same broom or broom that he was sweeping at the Temple of Justice? Is that what he brought here? Why he cannot sweep here? Where is the dye?
That's a proprietary secret. We're not telling you whether it's the same broom or not.
That's a symbol.
Mr. So, you know, Liberia, where Liberia is, you know, 1990, there was a guy from the BBC, I guess he was Ghanaian. This guy came to Liberia, he drove from Monrovia, I can remember very well, and he got to the Ivory Coast and he gave an uncle. He said, from what I see in Liberia going backwards 100 years. But maybe she would have added another zero to just say Liberia going backward 1,000 years. You and I know what Liberia was 30 years ago or 42 years ago. What Councillor GONGLOE did at the bar, one of the things that he did at the bar is very strange. I got the bar to be self-sufficient. And this is one of the reasons why I'm part of this, this wagon, to call on all Liberians for the first time in our history for us to use our own sweat and blood money to support a clean candidate like Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE, who we know he don't have money because he had never exploited the system, but he was able to go to the bar that had zero balance in their bank account But today the bar is able all by itself without begging any donor organization for support. Liberians don't like to support initiative. That's why we have been abused.
Honor is why he did.
That's why we have been abused by criminals. Because what been happening in Liberia is the criminals take government taxes, government resources, put it in the right pocket. They sift it, put their hands in the left pocket, and take an inch of it, a pinch of it, and share it with the people. And the people say, oh, the man is a good man. So what I am part of this campaign to do, or part of the Friends of GONGLOE, I have already made it clear to Councillor GONGLOE, I'm not in the political wing because I got politicians are not my friend. But I will remain in the civil society grouping for all to be able to generate the resources we need.
Philip, don't do this.
Yeah.
Politicians are not your friend. You're hooking up with a you are
no.
You coined the ideas of a politician. Also, is he a different type of politician? Can we put in different class?
This is the thing. When it comes to Liberia, I can't compromise the love I have for Liberia with any politician. But like I said earlier, I supported Ellen based on the fact she came up our phone that said it was going to be all Liberian. Liberia going to be all for Liberians. But then she disappointed us. But Councillor GONGLOE has that character. Councillor GONGLOE has that track record. He had that.
So hold on. I don't want us to dwell on Helen Johnson-Sirleaf. You're bringing Helen Johnson-Sirleaf here. You know, probably she never had the character or whatever. Why are you being selective of a politician? Let me go to Tyler there because I see her. I think she wants to come in here. Phil has been a little bit selective here. Putting Councillor GONGLOE in a different bracket, different politician. He doesn't like to hang up with politicians. So I don't know how he can reconcile that. He's propagating the ideas of a politician here. So why Councillor should be put in a different column in this talking point when he's seeking for the higher office of the land? He's a politician.
You know, I really believe.
I agree he's a politician, but what I'm saying, he's an extraordinary politician because politicians should be people that will go and serve. Politicians should not be rogues. Politicians should not be criminal. This man is a politician, I agree. But what I'm saying here is that I told him, I said, Councillor GONGLOE, because today we are campaigning for your leadership. Tomorrow, I know he will not, but I'm just saying, tomorrow, if he compromises, which I know he wouldn't.
Okay, let me hear from.
All right, maybe I can clarify this for you, Alfonso. I'm thinking when Phyllis said a politician in Liberia, they got career politicians, people whose only profession is being in government service. Councillor GONGLOE is a lawyer. That's his professional job. That's what he does. That's what he lives by. So he's never ran a campaign before. He's never been elected before. So from a plain definition of the word, he's not the kind of politician that Philip is referring to. We have people over there whose only job they've ever held is in government or in some kind of elected position. Now, those are the people he's referring to. And if you have your job, right, that you live by, that you're able to live by. He has lived off of his lawyer job to this time for the last 4 decades. He's still teaching at the University of Liberia. His very first job, which he had back in 1982, he is still doing it. He still works as a professor at the law school there. So he is not a politician in the common definition of that word because he's a professional in other areas. And he's only coming here into politics because he feels like this is his last service to his country. And he figured he can be that one good example. All the good countries in Africa today, they started with one good example. And he figures he can be that one good example for Liberia. But if he doesn't win, he said, listen, I'd rather not win than be unfaithful to who I am. So a politician would never say that. A politician has to win by all means because that's the only thing they know. So they lie, they make promises they know they will not fulfill because they don't know how to live by any other means.
Okay, we have heard these things over and over. Remy, Tyler, let me hear from you. Are you
yes.
That
I wanted to say that your question, I think when he said that he don't hang out with politicians, I think he's speaking in terms of a literary sense. What do I mean is that TIAWAN will not say, okay, election is coming up. He will begin to go and fix some breach that was broken for the past 4 years in his village, just because he knows election is just a year away. Or TIAWAN is not the kind of person who will say, oh, let me take back a rice here. Let me go give them some onion and start dividing money. But mind you, 4 years, there was no money distributed. But now election is around the corner. Those are the kind of politicians. In other words, he's saying that TIAWAN is real. TIAWAN wouldn't have to go and get people. It is alleged that the last election or so, or before Ellie, there were voters coming from Ivory Coast and Mali and so forth. TIAWAN wouldn't do that. He wouldn't pay for vote. TIAWAN will be as real because his track record of being a lawyer for justice for poor people and to ensure that people are held accountable. So if he's pushing these things over the years, and now election time, he wouldn't go there and start to kind of give false promises and say, I will do this. No, he will be the real president. And this is what this is what we need. But when you look at the setting right now in Liberia, people, all of the abnormal is normal in Liberia right now. Everything that is abnormal. I'm speaking from my own personal experience. So we need, and
that's the fact.
We are a holy nation. On Sunday, people hold a Bible on their arm. You see them going to church. But when they come home, and I have witnessed that, they will tell simple, truth. It's not in some of these people pathway. So TIAWAN is not going to be like that. And I think that's what he meant to say by TIAWAN is now atypical politicians.
Where I'm sitting behind this microphone to get a clear cut to my audience and the listening audience. We want to welcome our senior contributor and analyst. Is based in Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Amos George. Pa George, good evening and welcome to the Talking Point. We are on the political marathon to the Republic of Liberia. Everybody want to go to that A floor. Marcel, I want you to give me a chance now. I want to go. Let me ask this ridiculous question here. You guys here, they're talking, you're talking, and everybody vein pumping here and there. Is nothing. Who is going to be one of the ministers if TIAWAN GONGLOE is elected president of the Republic of? I see my man Zioka there. He's a civil engineer, work at public work, possibly Dr. Ban on the other side, Tyler, retired nurse, who knows, going to go some kind of play Philly on the other side, business world. You will want to go to MPA, the gateway to the country's economy. Which one of you here is willing to serve in TIAWAN's ministers or directors, or are you advocating?
So if you could just allow me to end my thought, then I think you'll do me justice. So please, just let me end my thought, and we can go to that question because
we don't want to be going long. We want to make sure.
No. I just want to explain. Because remember, I'm representing two sectors in this on this platform: civil society and the business community. So I just want to make sure I complete my thought.
Yeah, hold on. Are you here for the business community or are you here for the councillor?
That's why I'm part of the campaign. That's why I'm part of the Friends of GONGLOE.
He wants to have a government want to be running extra business than the business.
No. This is why I want you to let me end my thought.
Okay.
TIAWAN GONGLOE, as president of the Bar Association, he did something that is very strange in Liberian politics or in the Liberian setting. Now, what do I mean? Liberians are people, even if you look into all our local organizations, these different associations, Liberians don't like to support initiative. Liberians don't like to pay their dues. And one of the reasons why they don't like to pay is because of the leadership lacks accountability. But because Councillor GONGLOE is a man of integrity, when he took over the leadership of the bar, that's one of the things that impressed me to be part of him. He made sure that bar became a vibrant organization all by itself. The members of the bar that never paid dues were paying dues, and today they are paying dues. They are being licensed, they are being certified. He brought professionalism into that sector. So what I'm saying here is that Councillor GONGLOE is going to take that from the top. It's going to go down to the carpenters, the masons, the painters, so that Liberians can take leeway in the leadership and running of in support of government. Now, one of the reasons why we are here, or I am here, is to tell the Liberian people that we need to support this man candidacy. We don't have to be waiting for UNDP to come and bring money. We don't have to wait for bad politicians to go and lobby for funds from APN terminal and all these concessions that are running in Liberia to support their leadership. A good man like Councillor GONGLOE is left by the wayside because we say he don't have money. So I want to use this platform to call on all Liberians for us to give the man the maximum support because he's a man of integrity. We want to make sure this campaign of TIAWAN GONGLOE be 100% supported by Liberians. Everybody bring that 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, 1 cent, 5 cent to support this man leadership so that we can have Liberia for all Liberians.
All right, Mr. Zion, thank you so much for that question. So here is the thing. In my opinion, I don't think everyone that's supporting Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE wants to be a minister. What we want here is we have a safe Liberia that I, Zoga, can go back and contribute my quota, all right? I can train teachers who today our people are talking about they are not qualified. You got all of the teachers that are making immense sacrifices, but they don't have the tools to work with. They don't have the modern training. I've been in this country, I've been teaching for the past 6 years in high schools, and I know what I see. In contrast to what we did in high school. And I went back and sat in the high school and see how the teachers perform. All right. Now, we cannot hold them accountable because there is not a standard set for us to draw our line that they are not qualified. No, because they lack what they're supposed to have. The second thing, I am a civil engineer. I need to go to Liberia and help in the road construction. I don't have to be minister. I don't have to. Okay? I need to, like what Philip is talking about, and like what Councillor GONGLOE is talking about, the job that is for Liberian must be for Liberian. Now, here is the thing, Mr. Zion. The guy who comes from India, he has a construction company, he has a construction store. And at the same time, he has a construction company. Is there a competition? There is not a competition. He sells construction materials and he operates a construction company. Is there a competition? There's no way. Because whatever contract he gets, he's going to effect that contract completely. Unlike the Liberians who are qualified and dying right in there, they have the knowledge, they have the know-how. Because they have no support, the government is corrupt. That is the reason why we are supporting Councillor GONGLOE and want to make sure that these 10 counts that we have, the 10 pillars, that when he becomes president tomorrow, they are implemented. Liberia is free. We can war 12 o'clock. Here in America, you come from 2 o'clock in the morning. You can't do that in Liberia. 7 o'clock, you're ready to go to bed. So we want this peace in Liberia. We want transparencies in Liberia. That's all. Don't give me minister position. If you give it to me, well, I mean, I'm entitled to that based on my qualification, but that's not what we are supporting Councillor GONGLOE for.
Yeah, the reason I asked that questions, it is deliberate. In the past and still in the future, we're seeing truth confection being taking place here. These people come and sell these politicians to the Liberian people. Oh, advocate, we just advocate. And I told them, nobody, my mouth is wide enough. I can talk for myself. And why would you be free or confidence of working for their own country? Because some of these people, they just do not have the integrity. They are just not honest. Everybody here wants to work for the state because they know what the benefit and they know they will be a proud. Why, if you qualify, you can't even work? But they pretend and oh no, I don't want to do it. We don't want to do that. So you just take somebody there, and then at the end of the day, when they get in power, you just backslide. You're not giving the support. Pa George, you wanted to come in?
Yeah, let me say good evening to our guests. And I've been following the program in and out. And everybody gets just speaking about integrity. Man who has a character, who wants to fight corruption. He had never occupied a political position except run for political office as every appointed position. But I know the councillor, and I hope to speak to him one day personally. He worked during the Amos Sawyer time, interim government, and there were a whole lot of things that took place during that time. And I will need to see him to ask him some questions about that. But let me come to you two. Anybody can answer this question. Everybody has seen that. They've seen that Councillor GONGLOE is a good man, which of course I cannot deny that. He has been in the street. He talked to the street people every day. Yes, that's true. But we are seeing the same thing play over again. By the time they get on the 8th floor, it's a different story. 2017, I was in Liberia when the campaign started. George Weah, you could not tell anything, ask any question about George Weah to those people in Liberia. They say he was people person. He stayed with them all throughout the war. He beat everybody in the street. He played soccer, everybody with people in the street. Today, we know what is happening. So my question to you people, is there any guarantee that you people have that if Councillor GONGLOE is sitting on the 8th floor in the executive mansion, will he be the same councillor that you people are talking about tonight?
Yeah, Dr. Sam?
Anybody can come in.
Yeah,
all right.
Since I'm the only lady here, let me start if I may. You know, you asked a very good question. I wish I was when I was growing up in Kennedy, I used to have sand cutter. I wish I was a sand cutter or predictor who predicts the future.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that capacity. I can't do that. But I do have the conviction, given what I have seen, his work. I cannot guarantee anyone's once they become. But then we who are supporting him, we know what we are telling him and the understanding, what we're going to have to see in place. You know, the discussion is there. We know what it is. But for me, I'm not speaking on behalf of the other guests on the show. There's no way I can guarantee, because if I be doing so, then I'm serving in some kind of a garbage, which I don't have. But what I can say, TIAWAN has lived by example. And it is that example over the years that he has led. And I'm glad you mentioned Amos Sawyer, because I have been calling people in different states because I'm the co-chair for mobilization. And they will bring up Amos Sawyer. I say, you asked a very good question. That is the reason why you should come and engage TIAWAN and get a good explanation. But if you stay in the background and people explain this negativity and you build this barrier between you and TIAWAN, you wouldn't understand it from the horse's mouth. So it would be very, very good that perhaps you can ask some of these questions that you want to ask TIAWAN, so someone else can relay that to him and say, yes, what's happening? What do you know? Explain this. And I think that's the kind of discourse and discussion we need in this campaign. The truth. I mean, you look like a senior person who's been around, and I'm glad you mentioned that. This is what we want. When we hear things, if he was in position where there was corruption or he saw injustices being done, why didn't he say this and that? Now, again, I wish I had that ability to predict and guarantee, but unfortunately, I will leave that to his conscience, and I will live and see what he did in life at his various, as a lawyer, human rights advocate, and solicitor general. I will go by that and then leave that with our MOU we will be drafting together. Thank you.
Let me just add on to Madam Kuangpa's statement on the question Mr. George asked. I I will tell you for a fact that Councillor GONGLOE is a man of his word. Since he came to the States, I, being part of the outreach committee, the mandate he gave is that he wants to get to every well-meaning Liberian that have interest in knowing where Liberia is and where Liberia can reach. That's the mandate he gave our committee. And I think this is the first time in Liberia for a politician or for a person of interest to be petitioned without any manipulation, meaning to stereotype the people to say, oh, you go here $200, you can't petition me. No, this man was petition. And what you see us doing are of our own conviction, raising our funds, sacrificing our time is on our own commitment without any promises. So that is to tell you how real this man is.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just do a follow-up.
Yeah. So let me just because the thing was frozen. So I had the opportunity to be on a virtual conference with the religious community of Pennsylvania, and the moderator asked Councillor GONGLOE, Councillor, I want this conversation to be recorded. Do you have any problem with us recording this thing here for check and balance tomorrow? Because we have interacted with politicians. They say one thing today, tomorrow it changed. The councillor said, go right ahead. Not many Liberian politicians will agree to that. So every day this man gave all the reason to have confidence in him, for all to have trust in him, indeed that he's the right person to lead this country from reverse at 150 miles per hour. So yes, indeed, we can vouch for him to be a very decent man, a very decent president come 2023.
Okay. Pa George, you say you get a follow-up?
Yeah, that question you asked, I want to ask, it's another general question, anybody can come in. All of you here have the skills, the knowledge, the experience to contribute to Liberia development. And so if anybody, if TIAWAN wins, he gave anybody a job, I mean, they deserve it. I have no qualm about that. But what will you people do to tell other Liberians that, hey, these are the standards that we want to see going from now on? What will be the role of some of you convincing the Liberian people that this is good governance? I don't know any of you people have ever worked in Liberia before, because we know what happened. When people get to power, it's a different thing. And let me ask you, let me just close by this. Will Councillor GONGLOE employ any of his siblings, children, brother, sister in his government?
No.
You want to go? Let me go.
Well, yeah, let me go.
Okay.
All right. I can answer for myself right now. I think I am blessed. I have been bountifully blessed where I am right now. And the only reason I'm even here and engaged is I've been sending a lot of my blessings back to Liberia. So if we can help set Liberia up in a way where our people can even take care of themselves, that will be the best. The best. I've seen people call me and beg for food. People I used to look up to, people that were role models. I've seen college graduates in Liberia today that practically, when they say living from hand to mouth, it just means like whatever they got today is good enough for food today and nothing for tomorrow. So if we can get a Liberia where I think there's a law already called the Decent Work Act. That's already passed. A lot of the things you were talking about, Philip spoke earlier and said, not Philip, but Junior, is like, okay, we got standards and we got policies. Most of those things are already there. They're just not being implemented, right? We once got a container of books, primary school books, took it, to an instructor that had been teaching primary school since the 70s and brought her a brand new set of books. Okay, get a new modern books for teachers, and find out the instructor didn't know how to read. She knew that Jack in the Box or a fat cat sat on the mat, and the SSO thing she had memorized it way back in the 70s, and she been teaching us in class the whole time, but she herself didn't know how to read at all. Now it's like, okay, if you have a sister and that's just elementary, but if you even went to junior high and senior high, those standards are already there. Nobody, that's why when TIAWAN said the very first standard we have is the rule of law. It's very simple. The law is already there. The rules are already there. We have a problem right now because nobody follows the rule. You find out that we put more effort into being an exception to the rule than following the rule. But because there's no good example about anybody that follows the rule. If I went to Liberia today, I would consider an important person if I can break the rules with impunity. So when I went there and said, listen, I want to pay my taxes and my dues, just tell me how much, the people were shocked. It took 3 days to calculate my taxes because nobody wanted to do it. They've never done it. The rules are there. They don't want, nobody does it. So it shouldn't be too hard. And the answer to your first question, I used to say, definitely, I'm not going back to Liberia. And then a couple of weeks ago, somebody else called me and said, what if there's something that you can do and TIAWAN can find somebody in Liberia that can do it? I said, that would be an exception. It's such an exception as this. If there's something that I can do that TIAWAN becomes president and can basically honestly say he has not found somebody yet to do, the same way I'm hustling for him, I will hold that spot until he finds somebody to fill it. But I am happy where I am, and I intend to stay here for as long as I want to work. And when I go Liberia, I'll be collecting my little retirement thing from here, and I'm not cutting it short. And one of the things TIAWAN has said is when he becomes president, he's going to make it so unattractive, right? If you cut off all the chopping from the place, then there'll be a lot of people running to get a government job and no chopping there, right? So then, some of us might be required, some of us who can support ourselves might be required to hold it until we find people to do it. But with none of us here that I'm aware of will be supporting this campaign because we need something. We want a government job in Liberia.
Okay. Let's, gentlemen, ladies.
Can I come in, sir? Because if I may, Mr. Moderator, may I come in? I just want to make some clarity here because, what we say today, it will come to haunt us tomorrow. I want to be vehemently clear. For me, I'm very passionate about the health sector. Yes, I left my job. I made 6 figures in this country at the time when I left. And I resigned that position and I went to Liberia and I spent 3 years working at the Ministry of Health. So I answer your question. I did work in government and it wasn't given to me by George Weah either. I submitted my resume and I was fortunate to have gotten a job at the Ministry of Health. Now, will I be interested in having a position in Liberia? Of course. Most notably in the health sector, because I see the corrupt. There are thousands, if not millions, laymen say, of corruption pathway and loopholes within that Ministry of Health to the very health policy bill. And so I have done policy drafting before. It needs to be changed. And so that's one of the reasons why some of us are in this campaign, because health is important for the nation's future. So I hope I answer your question.
All right, let me answer the questions the analyst posed, the last questions as to whether we think he was employ his brothers or sister. So, in the very first place.
All right, let me take a fresh shot. Let me take a fresh shot at it.
Yep.
TIAWAN's father was a teacher. I think there's 7 or 9 of them in their family, and they are all educated. 2 of TIAWAN little sisters just graduated from universities here in America, in Delaware, and one in Pennsylvania. All right. If any of those are qualified for a position, I don't think we will exclude any Liberian that's qualified. Now, if your question is, will TIAWAN employ, will he do nepotism where there are other qualified or equally qualified person? Is he going to choose his sibling over that person? We, those of us that are the face of the campaign now, he has never done it, and but we will ensure such a thing doesn't happen. But we will not exclude any Liberian to say, okay, just because you're related to TIAWAN, then you are disqualified to work or to serve in Liberia. I don't think that's a good policy. But we will make sure if that is done, it will be because that person meets that criteria, and there's nobody else that is equally qualified that won that position.
Okay, Doug, let me just hold you there. You just brought me to a point. You see, I'm not saying to deny or deprive any Liberian who is qualified to do a job in Liberia. But my point here, Africa, bringing your son or daughter, though they qualify to work, don't you see that as a conflict of a person bringing his, because it will
only be a conflict if there is another qualified person for that position, right? If there's another qualified person for that position who is willing to do the position for the pay, yeah. But if there's not another person that wants the job.
Let's make progress. We hope to have the counselor here. These they are surrogates, so we hope to have the counselor here. There are some really consequential questions. But Zioka, you wanted to say something before?
Yes. So let me go to the 2 questions. First of all, it becomes a conflict of interest if TIAWAN GONGLOE is the direct boss of any of his relatives. Then it becomes a conflict of interest. It is not a conflict of interest if the person is qualified as a teacher and he's being employed by MCSS. He's a Liberian and he meets the qualification. Then it is not a conflict of interest. If TIAWAN GONGLOE is the principal there or he is the superintendent and employ his brother, then it becomes a conflict of interest. The next thing is we who are the lieutenants of Councillor TIAWAN S. GONGLOE, we're going to hold him to his word. Remember, Councillor GONGLOE resigned from the Ellen government because Ellen has employed her children. And he made this statement that if these guys don't resign, I, TIAWAN S. GONGLOE, will resign. And that was one of the reasons why he resigns from this government. So if he appoints his brother or sister as any minister, because then now it becomes a conflict of interest because he is the direct boss. He's the direct boss of the executive. So if he does that, then we will go to him and say, Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE, you are repeating what you said you were not going to do. The last question was that, how sure are you people? Here again, when John the Baptist was in the jail, he sent somebody to Jesus and said, is that the Jesus? And then Jesus said, look, you'll go back and tell John the Baptist, the blind can see, the cripple can walk, the lame walking, the sick getting up, and all of that. So here's the thing. We are not going to say, well, this is so like how Sister Talo said. But based on the practices of TIAWAN GONGLOE, his work, we are very sure that he's going to deliver to the letter.
Okay, so all the talking we're talking, TIAWAN will be president. He will be the next president. It comes with capital. If you don't have money, you can be. There's no way. It's everywhere, even in the great United States of America here, not to mention Liberia, where the poverty is over the roof. Is this group, is a super power raising money for the candidacy to support the presidency of the councilor?
Yes and no. The yes part is, one of our friends said campaign eats money. That's the only thing campaigns eat. But our campaign is to go back to the people. The people that support campaign are the one that the candidate is beholden to. The reason why our politicians win elections and then they neglect us is because they are beholden to the people that give them the money. We are fully aware that as much as the campaign is expensive in Liberia, if we can convince the Liberian people to sponsor this campaign, we don't need thousands of dollars from everybody. If each person can even pay their $5 or if they can choose to forget the T-shirt for one campaign season or the bag of rest for one campaign season and then vote their conscience, right? We may not have money like the other people, but if we can have the hearts and the minds of our people. They have already tried that. In the last several elections, they've gotten the bag of rest, they've gotten the money thrown at them, and look at what they got. One legislature in Liberia, when his constituent came to him for help, he said, "Why you guys keep coming here? I pay you for this position, right? You didn't give me this thing. I pay you for it, and y'all keep coming here." And he was right. They were all team, they hung their head and left. Now what we're saying is we, the Liberian people, can own this president if we sponsor him. The same way the millionaire they own our president and they can do whatever they want to do in our country and get away with it scot-free. Because we got some people in Liberia now, we got like Princess Cooper's death, and it never got investigated because they said some people with money were involved. But if we, the Liberian people, if we can sponsor this thing, then we have a claim on the president to say, we put you here and you need to do our job. You need to take care of us because we put you there. That's our campaign. We're not gonna run arms and arms with any rich person because we don't have as much money. They got free money. Some of them got taxpayers' money. But we know the Liberian people are tired with that thing. There's a video online where people carrying bag of rest to the constituencies in Nigeria and in Ghana, and they are being chased out of the neighborhoods because the people tired.
Hold on 1 second, and I'm coming back to my question. Are you a super? Are you a lobbyist? Are you contributing to this campaign?
Yes.
Personally, yes.
We are contributing.
Hold on. Let's do it. Let's do it one at a time. We gotta hold you guys here.
Yes, we are contributing. There are a couple of things you can contribute. You can contribute your time. You can contribute your money. Right?
Hold on. I'll come in 1 second.
Oh.
I who even sit behind the microphone because we want a new Liberia. Good governance. It comes with different characteristics and all of that. We are not here to go into tutorial class and all of these things. And the reason we do that, today's conversation, the politics of Liberia now, the entertainment aspect is so much to the extent everything is being dramatized. And this is hurtful. As the result, we don't even know the good from the bad. And if we are to project people to be the good one, those who are the Messiah or who are the surrogate, and I like what is the campaign is doing because they've been very visible to start with Dr. Doe and other folks came here before. Most of the other people they're not doing, they shield their people. They only go to them and talk to them. But we will get them. There will come a time. But this transparency, the clean guy, integrity here, it comes with those who are the face of the campaign too. So let's put transparency, let's practicalize it. How much is you guys are contributing to this campaign? Or what are you really bringing to the? You're going to ask the Liberian people. Don't tell me Liberian people are going to donate. These people not going to, how much they're going to give. These people, they don't have how much this campaign, this group intends to invest into his candidacy in order to execute and to get to the finishing line.
Mr. So, we're going to donate. We're going to give everything to this campaign. For this campaign to be, for the first time in the history of Liberia, to be the campaign of the Liberian people. Now, because of the man we are supporting character, there are people who are not asking for t-shirts. They are basically asking for just transportation to get to the people in the rural part of Liberia as we speak. There are people here in America from all walks of life that are contributing $10, $20, $25 every weekend, every Friday, voluntary contribution. Some that is very strange. I can tell you who is in charge. Friends of GONGLOE, Team GONGLOE are in charge. And these two institutions that I can speak of.
Are you a registered group to solicit funds, campaign funding?
Oh, of course, yes. The two organizations are, two into one organization are registered 501 or C4 organizations. So they are legally registered in the United States of America with a right to collect funds to support what they believe in. So
the reason I'm asking this question, gentlemen, is because we saw what happened in the last time around. You know, our people get a tendency, if you have maybe strong view or strong opinions about things, you're not part of also, you not need to know. We don't ask, you won't put your money in there. We saw that happening with the Darius Dillon, the opposition people that came, oh, that's the light and blah, blah, blah. So we want to make sure this time around. Okay, I'm just a curious guy.
These two organizations into one are very transparent. We run a WhatsApp chat room where every weekend, money collected the week before is there. Everybody that contributed, the records are there. And our accounting system is so unique to the point that it's very much on time. Every Friday, Saturday, reports come out as to what spent. And interestingly, money sent to Liberia to honor the cost of what needs to be taken care of. Reports come back to us as to how it was spent. Even if the principal, Councilor GONGLOE,
Philip, hold on 1 second here. Let me bring in Tyler here. Maybe Tyler will help me out with this one. The gentleman don't want to cooperate with me. Now, I am not in your WhatsApp chat room. I don't know what's going on in the world here. Would the media have assets? Which we want to be clean. We want to get clean. Would the media have access to some of these?
The media will have assets. There is no secret in what we are doing, because we want to make sure we are transparent enough for the Liberian people to be motivated to support. So everything we're doing are very transparent, because for this is the first time we're not going to be like a campaign where we cannot give account. No, I'm not part of the financial department, but I'm part of the outreach department. So I make sure these things are done, because you are not the first person asking this question. There are people out there who want to join, but because of the bad experiences they have had with other political campaigns and other Liberian organizations, they are very concerned. And the moment they tip in and they see, they are convinced. And that's how you see the pool of people from every walk of life, from every political camp, joining the Friends of GONGLOE and Team GONGLOE to make sure that this thing. I will tell you one interesting thing that I saw happen. There was a time a week, one particular week, Mr. So, we had a rally. And one of the guys from nowhere just came and asked, who donated the highest amount to this this week? And according to the record, someone donated $3,000. But before getting to know the guy, said the highest amount donated, I would double that amount. And when we went through the record, someone had donated $3,000 to the campaign. It means I'm going to do it by two, and he was able to donate $6,000 to the campaign.
There's no way that there's no way I can validate those information. You know, I'm asking.
No, the records are there.
No, I understand. I'm not saying you are lying either, but until I can get to that. But let me just bring in Tyler here, because you know this transparency is part of what all of us, we are corrupt. Let me just put it that way. The system we have in the country there today is corrupt. Citizens are corrupt, not just on the government official, not just on the how you call it, opposition. all of us. The dishonesty is at a zenith. And I don't know how they think that country can be developed when everybody thinks of getting something at the expense of anything. Now, we have all of these proliferations of political parties. Tyler, I want you to help me out on this one here. Your guy, he's been portrayed here as a transparent guy, clean guy, resigned from Helen Johnson, Sullivan, this and that. He's a progressive. There's a divide within the progressive wings in Liberia. Will he align with any of these all out opposition with all this sort of chaotic situation drama? Is he considering that? Or is it going to be a one-man show, which is also another difficult aspect, because to get to the finishing line, you must have that 51%. Where does he stand?
Dr. Brown.
Oh, I thought you said you were asking Tyler.
Let's bring the lady on.
Okay.
Let's bring the lady on. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at political campaigns in an effort to get to the final line, and looking at our context in Liberia, I mean, you have to have some kind of a merger. And for me to sit here and tell you who he's going to align with, I think is something I'm not going to do, because we have to be able to be in a discussion with, TIAWAN, and we all of the different, we all have to have that agreement. But we are aware. For me, I do know there must be a merger. Now, in reference to your other question in terms of transparency, listen, some of us here, we have built our integrity. There's no way money, funds, accountability issue, those things going to be as transparent can be. TIAWAN have got no secret. We're not hiding anything. If we're going to be preaching in the public domain here and say TIAWAN is this integrity person, our own records would be reflected. So the three of us on this platform will not sit here and say or speak for TIAWAN, but we do know when we have our meetings, we have these discussions. So most definitely, there will have to be a merger, because all of the political parties in Liberia are Liberians. There will be a merger. TIAWAN, as you said, he has never ran for any political office before. He has held appointed positions. And in an effort, and given you have an incumbent who is in power, and we know how they act, we, not just TIAWAN, any political party out there, even be it Ambassador Boakai, they will have to merge. And this is where the Liberian people will look at these various mergers and see the pattern of integrity, impunity, and all of those kind of issues that some of them had not even addressed when they were there. So most definitely, we will merge.
It's getting a little bit interesting. I know Pa George, you're coming. Hold on there 1 second. Your guy said the folks are corrupt. It was validated by one of your strategists or gentlemen here that the system was corrupt, and then still the system was corrupt. He went in there. Now, if the opposition that he was referring to corrupt, I'm not sure whether he wants to go in bed with the corrupt system, with the corrupt people there. On the other side, he's making a case against the incumbent. If politicians cut deal anytime, any hour, and on an unbelievable situation, if the guy that you are supporting here today, if you were to cut a deal with the ruling establishment for political purposes, will you come back here to say, hey, this is what I thought it would have been? It's not in this case. That is, if Cllr cut deal with the ruling establishment, because I'm not sure whether the opposition or especially four major political parties, I'm not sure what going to, because he told them that they are corrupt already. Can any scenario cause him to cut deal with the ruling establishment?
Okay, let me go.
And the tough gets
first of all, your first question was, who does he align with? Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE is a member of the Liberian People's Party, and we will be going to convention in September, intending and this is where he's going to declare and run as a standard bearer. So he's a member of the political party, Liberian People's Party, and the issues of whether he's going to cut the deal. TIAWAN GONGLOE doesn't make decision with collaboration with parties. It is parties that make the decision. So we don't want to speak to that because we are not the mouthpiece of the party. But to answer the question as to what member or which party he aligned with, he is member of the Liberian People Party, and we will be going to convention in September. And what has to do with merger, we don't want to speak to that because it is the party's decision and not an individual. We are friends of GONGLOE and making sure that he gets financial support. And then again, the issues of how he's been supported, little things we have, little funds we have, vehicles running around, and what he has to do. Those are the supports that we are giving him, and we are very much sure that he's going to get the best from us. So what has to do with merger, we don't want to speak to that because it is the political party decision, and we are not the representation of the political party.
I really, and I will talk to Dr. Doe, you guys who can extend I hope to really have a conversation here with the counselor here. Now, talking about going to conference, there's another progressive wing with Chris Dubanya, Alari Toba. They are all of the progressive. They are on the other side, they have formed an alliance. If the counselor goes to that convention, the outcome of that convention, will he honor it if he's not elected, or will he pivot 360 to go as independent?
Can I come in?
Yeah, Dr. Ba.
All right. I think what Junior was saying, he didn't get it. Our candidate is running on the ticket for Liberian People's Party. There's no party called the Progressives. So they all used to be part of one party.
I said there's another progressive wing with Chris Dubanya.
Okay, progressive wing of what? Liberian People Party? Or are you saying there's a group of Liberians that used to be identified as progressives? They're progressive everywhere. Even Unity Party has some progressives in it. When Liberian People's Party was banned back in 1985, right? All the progressives went to different parties, and none of them until TIAWAN GONGLOE decided to run. Some of the progressives formed their own parties and moved on. Some of them joined other parties, and TIAWAN GONGLOE, being the man he is, decided, listen, we all used to have a party called the Liberian People's Party. And because it's no longer existing, we are going to reestablish it. Those people you're talking about, like Larry Topa and all those other people, Christopher Yan and all those guys, they have moved on from Liberian People's Party for years now. If they were to come back because the party has been restored, fine. If they choose not to come back, it's also okay. That's their right. That's a constitutional right to associate with anybody they want to. But as far as I know, the Liberian People's Party is not yet, it has not yet gone to convention. It was just last month that they even established the party structure for the first time. So we don't have a wing that have moved on to a different place. No, the party is not yet together as we know it. So in September, there will be a convention. And then those who stay with the party will be part of the party. And those who have moved on to other parties will carry their progressive ideas to other parties. Don't forget that we are all in this for the sake of Mama Liberia. So nobody's beholden to a particular party. And so we don't expect them, if they come back, most of those people you call founding members of the Liberian People's Party. If they come back, it's their home party, but if they choose not to come back, yeah, they have a right to, and we don't call them a wing of a progressive because, hey, it's just the progressives, there was just an ideology. And even back in the day when you were talking about, there were 3 different parties that were considered progressive party, and they still went on. So we don't expect them all to come into one party. You know, Cllr had a party, Tipote had a party, and so on and so. Bacchus Mafia had a different one, and they all coexisted, even though they were all considered progressives at that time. So we don't expect all the people called progressives will be in one party. If they come, we will be the happiest group of people, but if they choose to align themselves with other parties, that's also okay. The better party will win. And about merger, the very first question I heard the counselor ask somebody the last time is, okay, what does that person believe in, right? So it's like, come on, if you want me to merge with you, let's hang out, let's come up with some ideas. Okay, here's what I believe. I believe in the rule of law. Do you believe that? And you and I were to merge and we win tomorrow, will we pass this executive order that the judiciary should be free? So when we do merge, if we do merge, when we do merge, it will be based on ideas and not just because that's how come people that were good in the beginning ended up where they ended up, because they ended up making some bad decisions because they wanted to win. Like I've been saying from the start, TIAWAN is offering himself as that one good example. And he is not willing to belie himself. He is not willing to spoil his character at age 65. So if we find a candidate or a party that's willing to hold themselves accountable and be transparent and believe in the rule of law, we'll be happy to merge with them. But if it's just because somebody wants to win, he's not willing to do that. And the second thing is he had always said the merger decision will be made between parties and not between candidates. So we're not there yet, and we're not at that point. So that discussion should be held till maybe October.
Mr. So let me
go ahead.
Let me go back to this merger because something is coming out that I'm not too sure. I think we need clarity. I follow Councillor GONGLOE. He has said on many occasions the question of merger, he would not emerge, or his party will not merge with any group that has a criminal record, tainted record. Those are his words. He's on tape. Now, the question to you people, he did work in the Unity Party government. He resigned. Joseph Boakai was part of that government, 12 years. And we all know the history about the Unity Party in Liberia. And you have today the present government of George Weah. We know what is going on. What I want to know from you people, and you people trying to dodge this question, you people are sitting on this platform telling us Councillor GONGLOE is an honest man, a man with reputation. So the question to you people again, if he do merge with if the party do merge with the CDC government or the Unity Party government, would you people support it as an individual? Because you don't have
let me
hold on there. You're telling us here.
Yeah, let me
hold on there, coming. Because what I'm asking the question, you people are telling us, you people are vying for this man's character and reputation. So the question now is, if he said he want no tainted political parties, he would not merge with anybody, any group that is tainted. And I stated it. Unity Party, we know what they did. TDC, we know what they're doing. So the question to you people now, if he do merge with any, regardless, because anybody want election, they will say, hey, we believe in your principles. But the records are there. So the question, each one of you people, will you still support the GONGLOE presidency?
Can I just come in if you don't mind, sir?
Oh yeah, sure.
I know you mentioned, you mentioned the fact that Ambassador Boakai, can you tell me some of the corrupt practices Boakai was engaged with?
Let me say this.
I want to answer your question, but I do want you to please tell me what are some Boakai corruption In the event, yeah, the merger you're talking about.
I'm not saying that Bwaga was corrupt, but let me to answer the question. Let me put it in this context. He was vice president for 12 years. All the corruption, the alleged corruption that took place, the killing that took place, he received all the benefits from government. Did Joseph Bwaga ever spoke on any of those issues to denounce or to question his government? If he did, then give me a reference. Because you're talking about character.
All right. You asked your
Dr. Cllr, I know you're coming. I think, if I may say it again, sir, he was the vice president to Ellen. Will you be kind to let me know of a corruption he participated in that you know of? Then I can answer your question.
Let me say this. I do not have any document on him, but I'm asking you, if you are part of a system and that system is suppressing the people and you don't speak of it, what is your role as a civil servant or representing the people?
Well, your question is very, very important.
It's not vague. Let me go back again. It's not vague.
Yes, sir, the question is important. No,
she said my question. Let me restate it. I'm saying.
Oh, Pa Joyce.
Yeah.
She said your question is very, very important.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Maybe I thought she said what. Yeah. I didn't
question, let me
reiterate.
Very, very important. It is very, very critical. And I think it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago, Ambassador Bwaga came to Minnesota, and I asked him that exact question you just asked. And the question, one of the question I focused on was that you were vice president, and there was 68 concession went on. Why didn't you say something? And he provided, as I reflect back now, sometimes he provided, he spoke in a way that was very, very, how should I say? He spoke from a level where I've been very serious. I asked him in Minnesota. He came and I saw it. I sat with him one-on-one, and he told me from his narrative, and I will try to paraphrase that in the best I can. Some of us here, we have, when you look in leadership, there's type 1, type 2, type 3. In my case, in TIAWAN case, he saw it, he saw corruption, and he resigned. The Ambassador Bwaga narrative that he explained to me was that it voiced concern about it. And also, he stayed in that government to see all the corrupt practices, all of the. This is what he told. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't care how you may shake your head, but people do things to get to know. So in the end, they can go after individuals and change things. He did it his way, and technically, there's no corruption that I have seen that he has committed. If he has, please help me. So when I asked him that question, I said, well, while it is true, I respect your answer. We all do things different way as leaders, but I would have done it differently. Come to reflect now over the years, and when the election of George Bear and Bwaga, when they went for that runoff, you can see why, if you analyze it from a critical level, you can see why Ellen did not endorse this Ambassador JB. So I look at it from that perspective. I want to ask you, have you seen him corrupt? And I agree with you. He should have resigned. But then as I reflect again, some of us will either resign, but then others will stay there and get to know the path, and they will try to maybe after that person resign or leave office to try to come and change those things. And that's what he said he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So I hope they're happy and let us not, you make a very good point. But again, what kind of style, as I said today and reflect back, I have come to realize with this to understand he knows a lot about Ellen. He knows a lot. He told me a lot. I'm not going to diverge that here. And I believe that's the reason why, being the kind of statement he is, he chose not to resign and he expressed that he has. And for this reason, when he decided to run for the presidency, Ellen Johnson preempted and said, we need a young leader. And everybody just ran with that. And then she reflect on that and think about it for a minute.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't think we're going to empty all tonight. I would love to have this team back here. I come in, George. I would love to have this team back here. I will be here for a little while. And to be honest, I mean, the team has been coming forth. I think that's the second time friends or support base of the council coming. Unlike other people, we are reach out to them. You don't see them. Just young people just come on live stream and sound bites or red meat out there, and it just go away. This is a conversation we really want to keep, and we are in touch. We're going to make it proportional. We're going to reach out to all of the different parts involved to give them fair share, so that we all can go on record for what we are doing, and I really want to appreciate that. But before we go, 1 minute wrap out, and we are in contact with the support team to have he himself can really address. That is honest. At least we have download the face that behind the counselor, which is also good. So 1 minute each before we wrap out. Maybe there are some things that you wish to talk about. We didn't talk about it. Let us know. We heard that there are a lot of activities council or supporting other parts of the state. You can let us know, and we can also do that. Who wants to go first?
All right, then let me go first then.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to always give a scenario. In closing, I would like to say to the Liberian people, we were funded based on Christian principles. So I will always like to give a Christian example. At a gate of beauty, Peter and John met this people man, and he was looking straight at them.
Just mute other people. I don't know why the echo just coming for something.
Yeah, that's the echo again. And he was looking straight at them for money. Only money he was looking at. But then Peter said to him, "Silver and gold have I none, but in the name of Jesus, rise up and walk." And then he rise up, he began to walk. Liberia, today you are the sick person. And Councillor GONGLOE is in the position of Peter and John. Forget about your money, or he does not have money. We're looking at our eyes on money. Will you sell your right for $100 for the next 6 years? You got to think about that. You have to think about that, Liberians. We cannot sell. We cannot sell our vote for $100, $100 that you will just use for the 3 days and live in poverty for the next 6 years. You got to think about that. And when the time shall have come, please give your support to Councillor TIAWAN GONGLOE for a better Liberia. Thank you.
Okay. Who else going?
Yeah, may I go, please?
Yes,
I just
please.
want to say, thanks to you all, and thanks for the platform for bringing Liberia issues into this in the U.S. and to our people. I want to tell our people in Liberia and in the diaspora is that, TIAWAN wants to see a better Liberia. TIAWAN wants to make sure that jobs are created, jobs that our people will have, our youth will have, that they don't have to hustle. Right now in Liberia, people are just hustling. People hustle, and they cheat people because they have no jobs. TIAWAN wants to hold people accountable for stuff they do. TIAWAN wants the law to be abide and adhere to from the top down. Most especially, I want to appeal to the health sector, the nurses and midwives. TIAWAN wants to bring an enabling environment to the sector and to ensure you deserve and get the rightful pay you deserve based on your academic and experience in your professional. Let us not look at the wealth that he doesn't have money. Let it be our party, the People's Party, to raise the fund to ensure that he bring true leadership, respect, integrity to the presidency of Liberia. And if we all can do this for the first time, Liberians, when you educate them and you lead by example, they will follow you. They know how to change. But if they see in every sector people are just stealing and stealing, they will do the same thing. But if we put our hand around TIAWAN and vote him into office and see how he will work to bring jobs and to live by the rule of law, then we all would know that our people can transform, and the vision of Liberia that he has will lead towards the next generation that he will leave behind. Thank you.
Okay. Philip? We're not hearing you. You gotta unmute.
You are muted. You are muted. You gotta unmute yourself.
Let me see what I did on this side. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the CM brother, Dr. Juan, can go ahead.
Oh, you plead the fifth?
Yeah, let the CM brother go ahead.
Well, thank you, fellas. Thank you. It's been a little long-winded, but it was good. I want to say thank you to you, the moderators. These are discussions we need to have. And I am happy you kept reminding us that it is being recorded so that even tomorrow we can hold ourselves accountable to these things. It's a good thing. The transparency we're looking for. Liberia is not a poor country. Even the goodness of the international community. If you were to read the American ambassador's op-ed like 2 months ago, he talked about almost $1 billion worth of medical supplies and medication going to Liberia. And in less than 60 days, we ran out of medications and medical supplies again, right? With like less than 5 million people. The stuff comes to Liberia. God himself endowed us with a lot of resources. It's just that all our benefits, all the goodness that comes to the country is going to just a few people. And we don't want to make the campaign about personalities. But all we're saying is if the Liberian people keep doing the same thing they did 2011 or 2017, even the things they did 2005, there was an excuse 2005, so our first election, we got the water over. 2011 came, 2017, and then here we are. If you do the same thing you did 5 years ago, you're going to end up the same place you are today or worse. Things have to change. We always have said somebody else has to change. But our campaign is coming to each and every person on that soil. Whether you are in Ganta or you're in Barclayville, whether you are in Cape Mount or you're in Cape Palmas, you will have to change and say, this year, I'm voting for my future and not just what I can eat today. If you do that, TIAWAN ain't got to go borrow $1 million from somewhere. But if you would prefer what you can eat today so you can suffer for the next 6 years, it will be on you. It will not be because you don't have a good person. It's because you chose your God over your future. So we're going to come to you. And at some point, I used to tell those people, we ain't coming to beg you. We're coming to give you an opportunity for your future, for your children's future. You were able to say, let's try the football player. You are.
Okay. All right. About to show you. Okay. Well, ladies, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much. We're looking for having this sort of a conversation routinely. It is important. We know you can't empty all now. We are still in the early stages of this whole thing here. So, but we'll keep having this conversation. We're hoping to have even the principal himself here so we can have a conversation. Thank you so much for the event, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at Madam Kronbad. I know the last time we had a conversation was OLM. Now politics. What, Philip? What you say? You plead the fifth already.
Let me just give me a minute to close.
Oh,
yeah. First of all, I want to thank. Yeah. First of all, I want to thank management on radio and TV for the opportunity afforded us, our friends at GONGLOE. We hope we can have this opportunity again to come back here to tell the Liberian people what we know is at hand. But I just want to give the Liberian people a few important dates. In Philadelphia, Councillor GONGLOE will be meeting the intellectuals on July 18 at the Four Seasons Internet Cafe, at TIAWAN Center. So we're calling on all the intellectuals from all the various political parties to please show up on Saturday, June 18, to come and ask the councillor the hard questions. On the 26th of July, there will be a town hall meeting in the Pennsylvania Belt. We are inviting people from Delaware, New Jersey, and nearby states to please attend this all-important town hall meeting at the Victory Harvest International Church. That will be on July 26th. June 26th. And also on July 3rd, he will also be in New Jersey with another town hall meeting. On July 9th, the Council of the State of California meeting with Liberians.
Hold on 1 second. Let's do this. Let's put some money in public relations. Why are you hating yourself? No one knows what I'm talking about. Also, I'm here routinely for months. We can do it. Come on, don't do that. I want to build.
No, all right, then, Mr. Soldier, give me the last minute. Let me get close. But we just want to also thank the management very well for the opportunity. But I just want to sign up this message to the Liberian people.
Yeah, we go.
Councillor GONGLOE has said for the first time Liberia will produce millionaires. And I want to be one of those millionaires. Earnest millionaire. And it is true, I believe him. If we, the Liberian business people, can support this man campaign, obviously we are going to be millionaires in our country. Our country is not a poor country. Our country is very wealthy, but because we have sat back, supposedly we allow bad politicians to mortgage the country and its resources to foreign and bad business people. So I want to use your platform to call on all Liberians to please come on board. Don't sit on the fence. You don't have to be politicians. Let's come and support this man from the civil society angle so we can have a better Liberia. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. I want to thank you so much for that.
Mr. So, I just want to ask the panelists if they can hold either hand on the policy statement, if they can get a copy of the policy statement, they can split to you at least we can go through the brochure to what it, if you can do that for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Do that for you at as soon as possible time.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to having this conversation. Okay, well, folks, that does it this evening. We want to thank all our group here. Pa Josh.
Yeah.
I think the good thing is that we see people coming forth to explain things, what they believe in. We didn't see this happen that much with the other people. I'm not talking about people who just said, but I mean people, the other faces. We want to see different people because that will give us a sense the type of government, the candidate, if they manage to win it, their surroundings. And that's why it's good to have this sort of a conversation. But I'm hoping that we have the principal himself here for us to have a question because there are still unanswered questions. We're hearing within the progressive bloc, this announcement was made. While we're doing there, some of the progressive and some of the other people on the other side were sending text that he made his announcement without a consultation with some other wing within the same LPP as well, the progressive bloc, and the New Deal movement or party came about. So the question that he's the only person who can answer that question: what happens if he goes to the convention and he does not get the nomination? Will he respect the rule, or will he go solo, or he will go independent? He and only he can answer that question.
Yeah, but Mr. So, yes, the interesting thing, that wing, they had already gone to Alari Topa then, that group, and Alari Topa supporting JMB. So we have to see how that dynamic will play out. Because the progressive night, their progressive is split because one whole batch going to how you call it, D something, to the Lpr-Tv group. So we want to see how the convention will play out and what will be the role of that group. But as you say, it's true. And this is why I continue to say, we want to see people from the ANC. We want to see people from Joseph Boakai team. Because it's not just the chairman or secretary general. We want to see other officers who are those behind this person. Okay, that is very important. So we can ask them the same question we're asking every Liberian. And I think every Liberian deserves the right to know who are the people behind these people. Because that will give them an insight or direction to see this person's decision making. Who do you expect? Who are the faces? So I know many of my friends, I don't have friends in the ANC, they don't say friends. ANC folk, maybe they don't want to hear this thing, but it's actually the facts here. Mr. Cummings cannot be all over this place, all over the network, all over here. No. There are people, if you are not willing to work, then leave. Why you want to be in hiding?
Because they want cross carpet. If it doesn't work this side, they go to another party.
If you want to work from an institution, you will part of the organization, show your face. Why you will be hiding? I understand maybe if you're in government, that's different. But if you're not in government, you in Liberia or whatever, why you can't show your face? It is your right to associate with any political institution.
Okay, let's leave it there. We'll take it, but we'll call on them. Hopefully they will come. We're gonna be back here. We're gonna be here tomorrow morning, 5:30, 6:30. T-Max Girate. The 50-50, as you know, we are in news content sharing. 50-50 comes on tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is 10:30 in Liberia. The topic for tomorrow with T-Max Girate, if the low-fat county senatorial by-elections were held today, who will be elected the next senator and why? Will it be Katumian, who served as superintendent of Lofa County and Laws when he first ran to be the senator, joined CDC before now the Unity Party, or Councillor Jala, who claims to be an independent candidate. Oh boy, though John the BAFTA confirmed and endorsed by CDC, even though he served as chairman of Liberian People's Party for several years.
Yeah.
What will it be for Smoke Kupi or the young Saros Momo?
Yeah, come along from the Liberian Action Party.
So we're going to see tomorrow. We're going to see how it's going to work, how it's going to play out with Team Masjidate. We're going to be right back here. We're still working out the details. Hopefully, once the system is up and running, then we'll be doing that.
Yep. Jala come along with Jala from the Liberian Action Party.
Yeah. So a lot of information is surfacing. The other group that are supporting Cummings, because LPP did not consider putting forward candidate for 2023. So all of that. And GONGLOE came in an open in Central Monrovia and made that. So that's why it is. So we're going to see what it looks like. And we're going to be having these conversations here. And then Amos George, thank you so much for all of your commitment. The Liberal is still on leave. I don't know what the heck is going on with the Liberal.
Tell his fan base that the Liberal is on leave. We did not ask him to leave. He took his leave off. When he's ready, he will come back. He is the board chairman. That's a Liberal. That's how they do things. They just take off.
Liberal when the progressive is in turmoil. So who knows? Maybe he's there trying to mend the fence.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to put something together for the progressive win.
Yeah. All right. So we will keep a lot of questions for the council time. Hopefully, we'll talk with the support team that we can have a conversation with him here to have access to him as well. And I think he's, for the most part, he's been visible. He's speaking here and there. And that's the good thing about him. None of those guys that are moving quietly like Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that. So I think I'm quite sure. Tentatively, maybe July 3rd, from conversation that we are having. And so when that is confirmed, we will have it out there in the public time and everything, because they're going to go full blast. Amos George, I want to thank you so much for your time this evening, as usual. And by God's willing, we will be back here again for more programming and information for the good of our country. Thank you so much.
Mr. So, you know this guy, Robert Bade?
Robert Bade?
Bade, yeah, I think for the Unity Party.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I think was that about Bade? He was.
Yeah, for the Unity Party.
Yeah, one Bade I interviewed him during the 2017 election. You were then, I think, either party chairman, some sort of hierarchy, secretary at the time also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know Bade. He faced our microphone 2017. Okay, my man. Thank you so much. I thought you were coming to get some kind of horrible news. Start dressing off stage, my man. Okay, folks, we want to thank you so much for the time this evening. By God's willing, we're going to be back here again. Until then, have a pleasant evening and be safe. Bye-bye.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Love is all we need to make it see. This is the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever. Open up your heart, let the unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate one another. Learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have no peace of mind. Unify and have a peaceful